Boom. So, good evening, everybody. Massive shout out to those who are listening or watching on the replay. If you didn't make it live for this one, please do join us on another Monday night for one of these live Facebooks. They're actually not live Facebooks now. They're on Facebook, but they go out on Twitter. They go out on LinkedIn as well. So, if you're watching on LinkedIn tonight or you're watching on Twitter tonight, thank you for being here. I will get your comments, actually, because I've got some new software now that actually allows me to collect all of the comments from different platforms. So, if you're watching on the other platforms, I should, hopefully, if it works, we'll test it, be able to actually see your comments tonight. But I can see everybody on Facebook as usual. Shout out to the usual suspects. Saba's here, Julie's here, Tom's here, Andrea's here. Steve's just joined, Janice is here, Mario, new name, Mike's new, Gordon, how you doing? Lindsay's here, Saffron, Wendy, Mel, Julie, Polly, Ollie, Polly and Ollie, Polly and Ollie are here. We've also got Carly, Andrea, Adam, Dougal. We've just got a whole room full of people, which is great. How is everyone doing for a start? Little check-in. Let me know in the comments how you actually are. Brand new week. Anything could happen this week. I'm absolutely not going to go on and bang on about lockdown. I think we've all had enough. Do you know what? Like, I don't know about you guys, but after this, when we do get out of lockdown, this is all I'm going to mention about it tonight as well, because I'm really getting bored of it. How sick are you getting of emails or writing emails? I don't even write it anymore. That would start off with, "Hi, blah, 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 blah. Hope you're well in this strange time." It's bollocks, isn't it? I'm so bored of it. Like, it just gets a bit tiring now. I'm not even writing that now. I'm just writing, all right, hiya, like, just as if times are normal. I'm absolutely not enthusiastic about, when this is all over, going to watch any films or plays or anything anybody does about isolation or lockdown. Don't know about you, but I've had enough. I really have had enough already. 8 weeks in, if I see another piece of content that's kind of branded with lockdown or isolation, it's making me like sad. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm like, let's look to the future. Let's be positive. Let's be optimistic, and let's make that positivity louder. So I'm not going to bang on about that tonight. But I hope you are doing well. In all seriousness, though, obviously, I hope everyone's staying safe. You friends, your family, hope everyone is doing really good. And I've got loads of exciting stuff coming up for you guys on actonthis.tv this week. Who's been enjoying the webinars I've been putting on like so far? Because we've done now, probably 14, 16 of these over the last 8 weeks. I do one on a Tuesday night, one on a Thursday night. We bring on a famous casting director, agent, actor, writer, producer, etc. And we all have a great chat. Everyone's saying totally agree. They've had enough of it too. No, it's not. Honestly, it's not just you, Wendy. It's not just you, Carly. It's not just... Honestly, I am so getting bored of it now. And it's not, it's not taking anything away from the seriousness of the situation. But I think, my God, if we just dwell on this now, at the start we were all saying, like, you've just got to get yourself through this. Don't worry about being creative or, doing anything like that. Just take time out for yourself. I think that still applies to a certain extent. But, I think now is the time to realise that, the pragmatic side of us has to realise that we're probably like this for a while. Like, we might end up having to live with COVID-19 for the next couple of years. So we might as well just crack on with stuff now, to be honest. And still look after yourselves mentally and stuff. There's no pressure to actually do anything. You do still have to get yourself through this time. But I think now is time to embrace whatever that new normal is and just go, right, you know what, let's not dwell on the situation, because that never gets you anywhere. Let's actually look at the opportunities we do have, which are abundant. We have so many right now. The fact that we're online right now, you lot are watching me on multiple platforms from all around the world, and this isn't costing me anything. This is just going out. Well, it's costing me a little bit actually to put it out on multiple platforms, but not much, a few dollars. We've got an abundance of opportunities, so let's look at what we have got. And I've got some incredible stuff coming up for you this week. So what I'll do is, I think the way we'll go tonight is I'll announce a guest. I'll show people some stuff that they might have missed if you didn't catch last week's live webinars. And then I'll announce a guest, show a bit of last week's. And then I'll put to you guys what I suggest we do this Thursday. Something completely new, completely different. I don't think you'll have done it online yet on other calls and stuff like that. It's something that I've discovered through some software today that I can enable. So I'll see if you want to do that on on Thursday night for all members of actsonthis.tv. If you've not got a bloody clue what I'm talking about and you're not a member of actsonthis.tv, you don't know who I am and you've stumbled across this for the first time, I run a website called Act On This, the TV Actors Network. You will find it at actonthis.tv. And basically, yeah, what I did before lockdown, I'm not mentioning lockdown tonight, but before this situation happened, I would sit down once a week with a famous actor, writer, producer, director, casting director, etc., and we record a podcast face-to-face when we were allowed to be in the same room as each other. That's not possible now, so we're taking it all online, and twice a week, on a Tuesday and a Thursday, we do a live webinar instead. I've had some incredible guests on over the last few weeks. We had Seth Mason on last week from the casting office. He's a top casting associate, to Victor Jenkins and Andy Brierley. They cast huge stuff. You just see a few things there. You know, the Spanish Princess on the right there. They cast, they've just cast Des, a brand new ITV drama starring David Tennant that's coming up and coming out later this year. You'll see Aidan Turner there from Poldark. He stars in a new drama called Leonardo about Leonardo da Vinci. The casting office cast that as well. We had like a 2-hour chat with Seth where you guys can jump on camera, put your acting career questions to these people and get the answers that you need. We had the Hollyoaks casting director Pete Hunt on this week as well, with acting coach from Hollyoaks, the on-set acting coach David Crowley. That was awesome. We had Emmy-winning casting director Rachel Freck on the week before. She cast The Office with Ricky Gervais, and massive, massive stuff. That's a screenshot you see there from Apple's new comedy Trying, that will go for a second season. We just don't know when yet. But if you're into comedy, Rachel, God, is a absolutely top of her game in TV around the world. For casting TV comedy, Rob James Collier, you'll recognise him from Ackley Bridge and from Downton Abbey. He's just done a new drama called Fate the Winx Saga on Netflix. We've had top directors on, like Lewis Arnold, who's the director for Des, which was the project that I said Seth cast at the top there. But ultimately, yeah, have a scroll through the archive at actonthis.tv. If you've missed stuff, it's all there for you. Get a membership. You'll get access to the recordings of everything. There's 300 hours worth of stuff on the website, but you're also going to get access to what we've got coming up this week, which I'm going to tease you guys with now. This is tomorrow night. Who's still looking for an agent, by the way? Who's still looking for representation? We had an agent on Janet Hampson a couple of weeks ago, and 4 people have now signed with Janet off the back of that webinar. Janet used to be a casting director. She was for 10 years. She cast some massive comedy. Now she's an agent. She's going to be a great agent. But let me know where you're at in terms of representation, because tomorrow night, I've got another agent coming on, and this agent is an actress turned agent, actually. I went to drama school with this person I'm going to introduce you to now. And I've seen her, working loads of stuff across the industry over the years since we left drama school 15 bloody years ago. But now she's actually, been looking to become an agent for quite a while. She was just waiting for the right time. And she actually took over. She bought an agency called Northwest Actors up here in Manchester. It was run by a guy called Nigel Adams from 2007 onwards. But there was a big problem with it being called Northwest Actors, because it wasn't just for actors in the Northwest. Nigel was getting people jobs and representing people from the Northwest, but also London as well. So it was a bad move branding-wise. Kate took over the agency late last year. She's got some incredible clients already, working in some really great stuff already. She's looking to take on more, but she's rebranded the agency. It's no longer called Northwest Actors. It is called Kate Northern, and that's just Kate's name. It's nothing to do with northernness or being in the north, right? But if you are looking for an agent, I'm going to try and introduce as many people from the community as possible to Kate tomorrow night when we do this webinar. Like I say, you'll be able to jump on camera and put your career questions to Kate. But if you are looking for an agent, just because I know Kate so well, she's so freaking hungry and positive and optimistic and just raring to go in this industry, that I know her agency will be a success. It already is, and she's obviously taken over an agency that was already a success. So she's got that success to build upon. But let me know, where you're at in terms of your representation, and so Julie says she's looking for new rep. Caitlin says still looking for representation. However, I'm working on my own stuff to try and help with that. It's definitely going to help with that, Caitlin. You're doing great with your own projects. It's awesome to see those moving forward. I think I'm looking for an agent, says Polly. Just need to sort out other stuff first. I would think about that. Chris is here. All right, Chris says I'm still looking for an agent. Got nowhere since graduating uni in July. Chris, you want to join this tomorrow night, buddy? Just because you're going to learn, and if you go and watch as well, I've recorded over the years so many incredible podcasts and video interviews with some of the top agents, mate, as well. Some really, really solid, great agents who literally tell you what they're looking for and, how to go about contacting them, what they like, what they don't like. Here's a little trailer of Kate. Kate has got the best hair out of any agent as well that I've ever seen. But there's a little bit about Kate. You'll love her, honestly. And this is going to happen tomorrow night, 7:30 till 9. I know we'll get Kate to stay on a bit later because I can do that. I know her so well. We'll get to stay around and answer your questions. But if you've got anything to do like around getting an agent, or you've got any questions, this is going to be really valuable for you. But this is Kate. Actors, it's Ross. I'm back again with another invite for you lot to another incredible actonthis.tv live webinar taking place on Tuesday, the 19th of May at 7:30 p.m. with this amazing woman here with the best hair in the industry, Kate Northern, who I actually trained with at drama school. I'm so excited about this, Kate. I've seen you over the years, obviously, as an actress. Now you've transitioned into agency, and you are now the owner and CEO of what was Northwest Actors, is now rebranded as Kate Northern, an incredible dynamic acting agency that no doubt is going to blow up. What do you want to talk about on Tuesday night?
Well, let's talk about how I've come from actress to agent, and any difficulties I've faced, and all the progress I'm making, how I'm building on Nigel Adams' success as Northwest Actors, why I've rebranded, and how I want to catapult the agency now into the future with the fantastic talent I've got and new talent that I want to take on. Absolutely,
and we'll be talking to a lot of new talent because you guys are going to get the opportunity to jump on camera, put your acting career questions to Kate, have a little bit of one-to-one coaching, talk to her about anything to do with agency, your acting career, auditions, how she works with her actors. And like you say, Kate, the books are never closed yet. You might discover some incredible talent.
Fantastic, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Absolutely. If you want to join this, get yourself over to actonthis.tv/live right now to find out how you can take part, and also take part in future webinars. I've got loads of these coming up. And Kate, just a few seconds put a bit of pressure on you on why actors don't want to miss it.
Well, I'm hoping that people will help me battle through the bullshit of the industry and see where we are right now in lockdown, and see if we can all move forward together. And ask me anything you want about my life, my career, your own difficulties, anything at all.
She's an open book. actonthis.tv/live. So that's Kate happening tomorrow night, and yeah, she's she is completely bullshit free as well. It's what everything I try and cut through the bullshit in every single feature that I've ever created over the last decade for Acts on This. Real honest talk, basically. If you've got questions that you need answering, please do come and join us tomorrow night for that. You'll just love Kate. She's just great, honestly, and like I say, no fluff. No bullshit, just what you see is what you get. And she's just an open book, prepared to help anybody with absolutely anything. Carly says she's on commission for getting Alicia an agent. Have you got Alicia an agent, Carly, or are you just looking out for her? For an agent. Sam's here as well. Hope you're good, Sam. Brendan's looking for the right agent. Stacey says she's excited for tomorrow. Ollie might be looking for a change. Adam's unrepped. Ryan's looking for an agent as well. There's a lot of people looking for rep, honestly. And now's a really decent time. Laura is looking for rep in the UK. It's a good time to reach out to agents right now, just because you've got a captive audience, effectively. Casting directors are... Some are looking for people to get in touch with them, as we've seen on the webinars we've been doing. Some are like, yep, you know what, I've got time to reach out to me. I've got time to look at stuff. Others are like, don't bother yet because I'm not casting anything. And you've got to remember as well, everybody is a human being who has other things to deal with within this crisis right now. But definitely, agents on the whole, I think, are it's a pretty good time, to reach out. But yeah, if you want to get involved with tomorrow night, do come and get involved, and we'll introduce as many people to Kate as possible. People literally, if you're just watching this for the first time as well, people literally get to jump on camera with the guests. I'll show you an example. I'll show you. We had. You know what? Let me show you. I'll show you the clip from Peter Hunt. Peter Hunt is the head of casting at Lime Pictures, who make Hollyoaks and lots of other dramas as well. Hollyoaks is their flagship kind of show. That's the one that you will all know, but they do lots of other stuff for Netflix as well. And Peter's awesome, such an awesome guy, very much open to new talent. He really is an advocate for new talent, really champions new talent, and he's looking for people all the time. He came on last week with David Crowley, who is the on-set acting coach at Hollyoaks, who is the guy who is responsible when you get an audition and when you get down, say you're going for a regular role, role, and you're down to the last 2 or 3 people for that role, he's the guy who will coach you through your screen test, and also just is the on-set acting coach to coach the actors who are in the show through their most difficult scenes. He's the guy ultimately who's responsible for getting them through those scenes to win British Soap Awards and NTAs. And Hollyoaks do incredibly well at both events, at the National Television Awards and at the British Soap Awards. I'm sure they got voted best soap in 2019 at the NCAs, so they do incredibly well. David plays a big part in that. They both came on. They did a Q&A with members of ActsOnThis.tv last week. If you didn't join us for that, here's a little bit of what you missed, and this is how it works. Head of Hollyoaks casting, Mr. Peter Hunt, and he's also brought a guest with him today. He's brought on set Hollyoaks acting coach, also creative director of Act Up North for any Act Up North students in the audience today, and he's also a great independent filmmaker, Mr. David Crowley. So Peter and David, welcome. For those who are like, look, my dream is to be a regular on one of the serial dramas, does the process differ that much to the way that you cast the smaller role?
No, I guess is the answer to that. And I come back to, as I said earlier on, I started out working with June West. And I remember June, one of the first things she taught me is you cast the day players exactly the same as you would cast your regulars.
What's your biggest advice to someone that's never done a screen test before?
The main thing I would say is feel empowered walking in there.
Is there anything that you're looking for in terms of I can be doing solely to increase my chances in order to get my foot in the door?
You're a good-looking northern lad, so you're instantly on to 3 potential soaps made in the north, and I think you've got to, again, this comes back to my point about knowing what it is that you're selling.
If somebody has a bad audition for either nerves or, I don't know, just having a bad day, would you bring them back in for another audition? Would you give them another chance?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone has bad days. I have a shitload of them. And the amount of times I get calls from agents going, they just want to apologise. They didn't go their way. They thought it was really bad. And I was like, I really quite enjoyed it. And I thought they did really well. So it's interesting whether or not it was actually a bad audition.
Self-reflection is possibly one of the most important things you can ever do as an actor.
Thanks to Ross for just giving us all this just brilliant content. We need it. We really need this connection.
Have fun in every role that you play. And if it stops being fun, don't feel like you need to do it just because you know, well, I've got my agent now and I've got this and I've got that. Do what's right for you. And obviously, whatever you enjoy in your life, go for that, and if you're having fun, then you've got it right for me.
Boom. So that was just a little bit. So it just sort of shows you, it was a little bit of what happened last Tuesday with Peter and David. Just shows you a little bit of how it works. People literally do get to jump on camera. And Dominic, one of the guys you saw there throughout that, he was asking about what he could do himself to get his foot through the door. Just noticed Liz has put in the comments there, Dominic, who came on camera, has been asked to send his stuff to Peter. So it works, everyone. No, it does genuinely. I'm introducing, I'm not an agent or anything like that, but I will... like I say, introduce as many people as possible to people on these webinars. That's what Acts On This is all about. It's about widening your network. It's about, helping you understand who you need to be in touch with in this industry and who you need to nurture relationships with, because you can be the best freaking actor on the planet, but if no one knows who you are or gives a shit about you, you ain't going to work. It's just, it's as brutal and as blunt as that. But it is the one thing everybody should be working on just as equally as hard as their craft. Is their network, and that sounds a bit corporate and a bit businessy, but it's very much what life is about. When you just look at your life and the successes in your life, they generally have come about through teamwork with other people, through knowing other people, through someone reciprocating value you have offered them and helping you in return. It's not about transactions and going, I'm just what can I get out of this person? It's about what can you give to this industry, and I promise you, when you start giving to it, it will give back to you. But I will do my absolute best, like I say, to introduce everyone in the ActsOnThis.tv community, if you remember, to as many people as I possibly can. So yeah, it's cool. I will show you the next guest. This is happening. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what's happening on Thursday yet. So tomorrow night, that's Tuesday, as I record this. Tuesday is going to be Kate Northern, the agent. Like I say, you get to jump on camera and put your acting career questions to Kate, your agent questions to Kate. This Thursday night, I'm going to save that for a minute. I'm not going to tell you what that is yet, but this is happening next Tuesday. And this is another big coup. And I don't see anybody Just no one honestly, like, there are other people running like live Zooms and stuff like that, right? But no one's doing it like us. No one is getting the people that we're getting. This is incredible. This is a casting director who is Emmy nominated, cast some of the biggest programs in the world. And he's also one of the loveliest casting directors you will ever meet as well. Again, so freaking supportive of new people, of new talent, of finding new faces. Here's a little intro. This is Jill Trevellick. She's amazing. Actors, these just do not stop. I'm back once again with another invite for you guys to another incredible actonthis.tv live webinar taking place on Tuesday, the 26th of May at 7:30 p.m. with this amazing woman here, Emmy-nominated casting director, Jill Trevellick. Jill, you have been responsible for casting some bloody wicked shows over the years. Massive, huge hits like Downton Abbey, Sanditon, ITV's latest historical drama, Belgravia, Sky original drama very recently just been on, Save Me, starring Lenny James and Saran Jones. Super, super busy, a woman very much in demand. But thanks so much for coming back to actonthis.tv to do this. What do you want to talk about on Tuesday?
It's my pleasure to be back. I don't have anything specific I want to talk about. I'm very happy to honestly answer any questions that come up, and maybe we should talk a bit about how we see the industry going in the foreseeable, if that is such a thing, future for the next few months in terms of how to deal with the whole kind of social distancing, Zoom world we now find ourselves in. But other than that, I'm happy to just, go with the flow.
Absolutely. Well, actors, you are going to get a chance to go with the flow too. We are going to get you on camera. You're going to be able to speak to Jill one-to-one, put your acting career questions to her, casting questions, auditions, anything basically. It's going to help you move your career further, faster. If you want to get involved, get yourself over to actonthis.tv/live for full details of this webinar and all future webinars as well. I'm doing loads of these. And Jill, I always ask every guest on a trailer to answer this question, but why don't actors want to miss this?
I don't usually do meetings with a bottle of wine to one side of the camera. So as the night goes on, I might get more and more indiscreet. I'm going to have to trust you all.
Join us there. Bring your bottle as well. actonthis.tv/live. So this is amazing. Such a lovely woman. Jill will be armed with a bottle of wine next Tuesday night. So I'm sure as the chat goes on, like she says, she will, become more and more honest with her answers. But it's just going to be a load of fun, guys. That's 7:30 p.m. next Tuesday, again till 9 p.m. I will bring as many people on camera as possible. If you are an actor, Jill doesn't just cast period drama, but if you're an actor looking particularly to work in period drama, Jill kind of like rules the roost when it comes to that. She was responsible for all but one season of Downton Abbey. She cast season 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 and the movies. The movie so far, but I'm hearing on the grapevine there might even be another movie. So Jill really is absolutely leading the race when it comes to that. Oh, wait a sec. It's saying my connection's been interrupted. What's that about? Let's have a look. Am I going to get my connection back? Come on, connection. Come on back. There we go. It was saying my connection had gone then, but are we back or what, folks? I think we are. Hopefully we're back. Let me know if you're still here. It does that sometimes. Apologies about that. You guys on the replay, you won't have to worry about that. But yeah, sometimes it does that. I'm back. Excellent. But yeah, that's Jill Trevellick. Like I say, if you're an actor wanting to work specifically with in period drama, Jill doesn't just cast period drama, but she does cast the biggest stuff. So in terms of, every season of Downton Abbey bar season 4, she cast the movie of Downton Abbey, she cast Belgravia, Sanditon, massive, massive period dramas. If you want to work in period drama, it is absolutely invaluable to get yourself on, on that webinar next Tuesday night with Jill. She's just awesome. And, and again, it's just about, even if you don't get on camera to chat with these people on these webinars, you will learn so much if you just tune in and listen. Just tune in and just begin to understand how these people operate. A lot of people I get it. You all want to jump on camera and stuff like that. But if you're savvy and you actually understand what you're doing, you don't necessarily need to get an awful lot out of these. A lot of people who have kind of lurked in the shadows, particularly 2 people who ended up signing with Janet Hampson, didn't meet her on camera. They just understood how she worked as an agent, and then used all that advice that she'd given on the webinar, put it into the emails they were sending her, and then they ended up getting signed. So I get it. Obviously everybody wants to, have a chat. We can't get through absolutely everybody, but everybody's question as well is important to them as well. So just need everybody to be super supportive of everybody. And if you listen, to the information that's given out, I promise you, regardless of whether you get to jump on camera or not, you will learn an absolute shitload over the 90 minutes that you're there. So that's gonna be happening next Tuesday, which brings me on to this Thursday, right? So I do Tuesday nights and Thursday nights. I have done for the last 9 weeks, a webinar with a guest every Tuesday and every Thursday. This Thursday, I purposely not put a guest in because I want to mix it up and I want to try something new, right? Everybody who joins the live calls gets to watch me talk to the guest and then one person at a time jump on and talk to the guest. Like I said, there's a load of value within that. But because we're getting so many people now joining live on a webinar, I thought what a great opportunity it is for everybody to meet everybody. Because one thing in this community that I love more than anything is the fact that everyone's so supportive of each other, and that support is only galvanized when you actually get to speak to people in real life. Now, in real life, it's not possible right now, in face to face, but in real life, like Zoom's not real life. But as a group online, it is possible. So what I suggest we do is we have like a big cocktail evening on Thursday night, basically, where we all jump on. Now, I've got some new software today that will allow me to break up the mass gathering on Zoom into smaller gatherings. So say we get, 150 people, say 200 people, right? Let's max it out. So we get 200 people on Zoom, okay? I can break that 200 people down into, say, 20 groups of 10. Or 40 groups of 5. So what we would do is we would to get people kind of set on what they want and focus right now is we would run some kind of goal setting type clarity gaining workshop of some description where we all jump online on Thursday night and then figure out what it is you actually want within your career, what every single person wants individually as well, like really specifically. So how we can take all the information these guests have been giving us over the last 8 or 9 weeks and actually implement it, because it's called Act on This for a reason. I say it all the time. It's about acting on the information that you're getting. So rather than it, watch this and sit at home and do nothing, it's called Act on This. So we break down what it is we want. And then as in small groups, so it's super interactive. Everybody will get a chance to talk within the group. How I'm going to do this probably is I'm going to, we could do something like, right, okay, I'm going to break you down into groups of 5 or groups of 10, whatever. Groups of 5 might be more manageable. And then I go, right, okay, the person with the shortest hair is the person who leads the group. The person with the longest hair is the person who keeps a timer. And then each person will get, 5 minutes to talk about themselves. So it's like a 25-minute session. We can maybe do 2 sessions throughout the night. So you would get to know not very well, but you'd get to know a lot deeper. Maybe you'd meet 10 different people from the community that night. And then we'll do this regularly. So you'll meet a different 10 people next time. And you should hopefully all get to know each other a bit better, know whose skills lie in what area. You might find people who, are making their own stuff, people who have cameras, people who have lights, people who have kit. So when all this is over, you might go, right, we formed a team of 6 of us and we're going to do some comedy sketches or whatever it would be. I just think there's a lot of value within the group. And there's a lot of people who don't know each other yet, who would probably like to get to know each other. It's the only way you move your career forward. It's not even whether you'd like to. Like, basically, you got a choice. You try and ride this whole thing out yourself forever and you get nowhere, or you utilize the power of the group and the collective knowledge of hundreds and hundreds of people, and you move through your career way faster. So let me know what you think. Saba says, lovely idea. Gary's just giving himself a haircut. Excellent, Gary. This is cool, says Esther. I'm thinking of I'm being as proactive as I can right now, says Brendan, but I'm sure I'll come up with something new. Love a challenge. Interesting idea. It'd be great, says Polly. Seems great. What a wonderful idea, says Laura. So it seems like it's a pretty popular idea then. People will be arguing over hair length. No, we're not. I might choose a different. That was just the first thing that came into my head for how we choose who leads the group. It's ultimately about letting one person talk at a time, really, to just put their stuff over, and then the group can then input, give advice and help. But I just think you're going to meet new people quite quickly as well. You know, you might get through, like, you'll meet 10 new contacts from the community, and everyone who is, the thing as well, everyone who is a premium member of Acts on This, everyone who's paying a subscription to Acts on This, right? They're freaking serious about their career. Otherwise, they wouldn't be investing. And it's a tiny investment, but, you know, well, not to some people, it probably isn't actually. But, you know, it's £4 a week ultimately. But you're investing something, so everyone's serious about their career. So, you know, everyone who's going to be on that call is going to be serious, taking it seriously, and is going to have value to offer. So I just think, you know, it's another way for us to extract value out of the community. Esther says, great idea. Linda says, great idea. All right, Chris, hope you're well, mate. I can bring snacks, says Gary. You can, Gary. Unfortunately, you can't give them out virtually, but vodka and tonic for Liz. I might bring a can of gin in a tin, something like that, or an espresso martini. But yeah, sounds brilliant, says Kathleen. Well, that's what we're going to do then. Alex is up for it as well. We're going to do that this Thursday night. If it goes down well, then we'll do this regularly. You know, maybe we'll do it twice a month or something like that. And it might even be how we run the official Acts on This meetup on the first Saturday of every month as well. Maybe we'll do it that way. I just think it's nice because there's something, you know, Zoom's great. Bring everybody on, but if you get a Zoom, you know, if it's not a webinar like the way we do them normally on a Tuesday and a Thursday, where, you know, you're just watching an interview happen and then you get to jump on camera one at a time and it's very controlled, that's great because, you know, not everyone's jumping in at once. But if you've got a Zoom room, most people who are holding Zoom meetings, I've seen like some people do it, and like there can be 100 people in a room, and then you get people unmuting themselves, you get background noise, you get a load of chaos that you just can't control. I think if we break that down into smaller groups, and I can do that, I can do it really, really easily as well. And then we bring everybody into the main room and go, right, now you're going to have 25 minutes where you're going to go away into your groups of 5. This is what I want you to talk about. And then when you come back, you know, we'll get like one person from each group to maybe report back on what they found. I just think it's a nice way for the whole community to get to meet each other. And, you know, ultimately help each other move forward. So, you know, you feel even more connected to everybody. So yeah, should be a good laugh. So that's gonna be Thursday, which then brings me to next week. We've got some freaking smashing guests lined up. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to play you a little bit of Seth Mason as well. Who thought Seth's webinar was great? Seth's freaking great guy. Seth, like I say, is a casting associate at the casting office. He's Andy Briley and Victor Jenkins' casting associate. They cast some of the biggest dramas in the world. Seth came on last week, gave us 2 hours of his time, again, to answer loads of questions from the Acts on This community. I'll play you a little mashup of some of the bits you missed from there. But Seth's awesome. Seth's such a good guy, and he's going to try and get us some more guests as well over the next couple of weeks. But it's just a little clip. I just want to play this because I think he's a legend. But this is a little clip of what you might have missed if you didn't join this. But if you did miss it, you'll find the full replay, the full 2-hour replay in the members area at actsonthis.tv.
What do you think the most common thing actors do in either auditions or self-taping, which are like self-sabotaging?
I think it's sometimes that temptation to do too much. As I say, for kind of the way that my eye goes when I kind of watch stuff and watch people's reads is quite often to like, oh, you know, is that kind of like TV drama appropriate? And I guess not everything, but I guess a lot of the stuff that we do would be considered reasonably kind of naturalistic. And I think sometimes it's just, again, it's harder on a self-tape because in the room you could ideally be like, you know, if you've got some time or, you know, whatever, you can kind of give them that note and then we can go again and, you know, kind of hopefully shake that out. But especially when it's sending smaller scenes for smaller roles. And it's that thing where, you know, I think it kind of relates back to what Amber just said. Like sometimes you get so focused and you think, right, this is my thing and I've got to do something with it. So it's this temptation to do loads and loads with it when it's like, well, actually, we just kind of want you to sort of exist in that world. And just, again, I know it's a slightly wacky phrase, but like the inner life thing, like want to see it just kind of like radiate out of you a little bit rather than just it being, you know, like all that kind of like big jerky mouth, arm move, you know, acting and kind of like, oh, you said something funny, ha ha ha, you know, like massive laugh. But you know what I mean? Just like tailoring those reactions and stuff like that. The main notes I kind of find that I give people are throw it away more, which again kind of just links to that thing of just kind of do a bit less with it really. And then sometimes on pace, sometimes people really tend to want to make a meal of something and I can always tell that because sometimes, particularly if we get self-tapes and I know it's a shortish scene or I've uploaded a couple of them, for instance, and they're like 1 minute scenes and one comes in and it's like 1 minute and 40 seconds. I'm like, oh, here we go. Like, so those I think would be my kind of headline things. I think knowing this, again, it's the age-old thing, knowing the scene, and nerves, which is just, again, the age-old thing, but just, again, a tricky one, but just something that hopefully people find a way to work through them.
Boom. So that was just a little bit of Seth talking about auditions and self-tapes. But yeah, I completely agree with him. I've seen that a lot where it's you know what, it's tempting in it as an actor to kind of go, right, this self-tape I'm doing for 3 lines, right, I've got to kind of make something of it. I've got to perform. I've got to kind of, you know, show them I can act, when really they just want you to throw it away. Ultimately, I thought it was something that was interesting because we're going to be doing, no doubt, a lot more self-tapes moving forward. Again, if you want to watch or listen to, you got a choice actually. You can watch or listen to the full version of that chat. You can find it. You'll find it in the members area on actsonthis.tv. If you're not a member, you can go and watch a 15-minute preview of it, or you can listen to the preview of the podcast. I'm doing that now, where you get to watch the video if you want, or you get to listen to the podcast, because I know a lot of people want to listen to the podcast version whilst they're cleaning the house or whatever it is, you know, that you're doing right now, going for your walk. Although you're allowed out for unlimited exercise now, aren't you? So you can get a few podcasts in, get yourself out 2-3 times a day. You've got plenty of hours worth of stuff to go through on actsonthis.tv. But yeah, you will find the full version of that with Seth in your members area. So it brings me on then to the following week. So like I say, this week is going to be Kate Northern, The Agent, tomorrow night. Cocktail Party Thursday night and networking. Next Tuesday is, well, let me see. Let me get the order of this right. Right, let me see what I've got lined up here. Right, next Tuesday. Let me just check what the date is. I could get this completely wrong. So next Tuesday is Jill Trevellick. Then next Thursday, who's a fan of, I've not got any audio or video of this yet, but who's a fan of Brassic? Have you been watching Brassic on Sky? It was a show that I was in season 1, actually, and then got cut out of it. Got left on the cutting room floor of Brassic, but I'm not bitter about it. It's absolutely fine. It's such an incredible show. It's co-created by Joe Gilgan. It stars some incredible people like Steve Everts, Michelle Keegan. It's got some brilliant, brilliant actors and actresses in it. Incredibly funny. You can watch all episodes of it right now on Now TV, or it's on Sky One. I've not seen the whole of season 2 yet, but they just become like your mates. It's one of these shows that just, like, after a while of watching, the cast feel like they're your friends. They're all a complete bunch of tearaways. It gets the balance of comedy and tragedy perfectly, in terms of, you know, it's not all super happy. It's very, very funny, but there's also some really quite, you know, tender, sad moments in it as well. Very, very good. Let's have a look. Binged on it for 4 days, says Esther. Julie's watched it because Steve is in it. I did a great podcast with Steve Everts, who plays Farmer Jim in it. Very, very funny. Just an incredible guy. Go and listen to that on actsonthis.tv as well. That was filmed and recorded back when we could do stuff in person. So Steve's literally in my kitchen around the corner there. It was awesome. I've not got Joe Gilgan on Tanika. And, well, you know what? I don't know yet, right? I've got, and I've confirmed it today, Danny Brocklehurst, who is the writer and co-creator of Brassic, coming on next Thursday, the 28th, okay? He also was one of the writers on Netflix's The Stranger. He's written some incredible drama over the years. I mean, just go and look at his IMDb. Stuff like The Accused, Exile, Brassic, The Stranger. Just massive, massive drama. And I did say to him in the email before, if you want to get Joe on as well, he's more than welcome. So the answer, the jury's out on that, Tanika. I don't even know. I know Danny's going to turn up, but maybe Joe might want to do it. Maybe he won't. Maybe he's not doing anything else, is he? We're all locked in. So you know what? I don't know. But I wanted to get Danny on just because he's one is one of the biggest writers in the country on the planet, really. He's super down to earth, super normal, super just normal bloke. But I know there's a lot of people in the community who are writing and creating their own stuff. So again, you know, we've had producers on over the last few weeks, but we've not had a writer. We're not specifically a writer. We had Jason Mazeron, who is a producer for Unstoppable Film and TV with Noel Clark. Again, the replay of that is on actsonthis.tv. You should go and look at that if you want to produce your own stuff. But we've not had, I'm trying to think the last time we had a writer. Can anyone remember? Like an actual, it might have been somebody like, Who would it have been? God, I'll remember in a minute. But we've not had many writers on at TV over the years at all. So this is a great opportunity for anyone who's writing their own stuff, wants to know how to write stuff, wants to know how to pitch stuff to production companies, wants to know how to get stuff commissioned, wants to basically avoid all the pitfalls most new writers will fall into. That's going to be happening next Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. So let me know if you are looking forward to that one. Carly is absolutely obsessed with his acting. Is that Joe Gilgan? Please get Joe. Look, I'll try, definitely. You know what? Even if Joe doesn't arrive on that one, because Danny's just a top bloke, I've known him a while, I'm sure he can put a word in with Joe for us. We were supposed to do, before all this happened, we were supposed to do a roundtable podcast where we were going to sit around as a cast with Danny as well. And I think Joe was definitely going to be involved with that. So fingers crossed we will make it happen, definitely. But that's going to be happening next Thursday. So if you are looking to write anything, or you're looking to have anything made, maybe you've got a story in your own life that could be a comedy. My life's pretty much a joke. So if you're looking to turn your life into a TV show, join us for that. Then I shouldn't even be. Do you want me to unveil the week after? As I say, I have hustled my backside off for you lot today, more than ever in terms of booking guests. I was like, I need to just book lots in at once. I'll give you a little hint of who's coming on the Tuesday after the Thursday. Should I tell you? Do you want to know? Let me know in the comments. Maybe you want to keep it as a surprise. Essa's saying yes. If you're looking for a bullshit-free interview, Joe's your man. Yeah, Joe definitely is. I've heard a few podcasts with Joe. He's a good guy. Okay, who's on next? Okay, here's a little clue of who's on the following Tuesday. I hope I don't get done for copyright for this. I'm only going to play like 20 seconds of it.
The elite can't run forever. Tell us where they are and we might go easy on you.
You touch one scale on my body, my friends might transport you to a fifth dimension of pain.
Last chance. Where is Manchester?
Oof, and we'll leave it there. I just thought it was funny when he's going to tell me where Manchester is. That's obviously a character out of the DC world. Manchester is not like, he's going, where's Manchester? I'll tell you, David, it's right here. It's where I am now. Yes, David Harewood, just an incredible actor I've respected for so many years. That was him playing Jean-Jeans in, I think that's how you say the name. I want to say John Jones, but it's not spelled that way. In Supergirl. He's also he played David Estes in Homeland. He's just done some incredible work. Like, he's in loads of the DC programs in the States. He's lived in the States for like 8 years. Originally from Birmingham, went to RADA. Has an incredible story to tell around mental health and an episode of psychosis he went through in his early 20s. He was sectioned. He's done a documentary that you should watch called Psychosis and Me on BBC Two tomorrow night. Please watch that. He's an absolute freaking legend. He's so nice, David. I've been chatting to him on Twitter for ages. We've been planning a podcast for ages. Obviously, it's not going to happen because of what's going on in the world right now. So I was like, David, you come out and hang out with the crew or what? He's like, yeah. So I just spoke to him today, and he's agreed. So that's going to be the 2nd of June. Again, 7:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. If you want to hear about all of the adversity David has overcome to have an incredible career, everything that he's experienced over the years, working with some of the biggest actors in the world on some of the biggest shows in the world, coming from absolutely nothing in Birmingham, as a guy, marginalised, just from a very working class family, in Birmingham, went through loads of shit with racism and stuff as well. Growing up, obviously, in Britain back in the day, 70s and 80s was not a particularly great place for a young black guy to be growing up in. It's just got a fascinating story that I know we're not going to be able to cover it all in 90 minutes because I want to get, obviously, people on chatting to him as well. But I'd also love at some point to do a really deep dive podcast with him where we talk about all of his life and everything that he's overcome in his life and just America and cracking that and how he couldn't find any work over here and how he ended up having to go to the States to work but then having massive success. So that's Tuesday, which is going to be absolutely awesome. Oh my God, it's nearly June, says Alyssa. Yeah, it is. That's going to be Tuesday the 2nd of June. Definitely. So that's going to be an incredible webinar. And then I've not got a video for this, but on the Thursday, the 4th of June, I think I might have a picture knocking around on my desktop of this guy. Thursday, the 4th of June, we're going to be spending 90 minutes, a bit earlier though. This is going to be 5:30 till 7. So remember that. I'll be sending invites out earlier, 5:30 till 7, not 7:30 till 9, because this guy's a busy man and I could only get him from 5:30 till 7. We're going to be joined by none other than Mr. Matt Lucas. So if you want to work in comedy, I mean, God, there's not really a better person in the UK, really. He's just like done incredible work himself and just made characters himself, made shows himself. Obviously, one of the most famous comedians in the world. We're going to be spending a good 90 minutes chatting to Matt about how he's done it, basically. So if you are particularly looking to create your own comedy, create your own work, and you're a bit crazy like Matt, because he's absolutely off his head. He's hilarious, though. We're probably going to be singing the Baked Potato song at some point as well. If you want to do a duet and come and sing the Baked Potato song, I'm sure we can probably arrange that as a group as well. Matt's going to be joining us for an hour and a half on Thursday. I think it is. Let me just get the dates right. I think that's the 4th, isn't it? Let me have a look. Yeah, Thursday the 4th at 5:30, 90 minutes with Matt. And that's all I've planned up to now. Like, I think that's the next 3 weeks planned. So I hope you're happy with that. Basically, if you're not, it's bloody tough. And if you're not a member of actonthis.tv yet, you're missing out on shitloads of incredible stuff, plus 300 hours worth of stuff that's already on the website. I don't see anybody doing the stuff that we're doing. So, incredible value that people are getting, and it is moving the needle in people's careers as well. There are people who are really getting further in their careers, even from their houses when they're not allowed out. There's a lot of people signing with people, having scripts read, having stuff, looked at and move further in terms of people producing their own stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a good few weeks. Definitely. Eloise says that's amazing. Amazing. He's so funny. Can we all sing Baked Potato with him? We can, Andrea. I'm sure. No, honestly, I think we actually probably can. But I can bring a few people on for that. Definitely. Dawn says you're working well, Ross. Thanks, Dawn. Look forward to that. Ross, you win 2020, says Tanika. Thank you, Dawn. I mean, thank you, Tanika. You said that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, I'd love to sing the Baked Potato song with him. We're all going to be there going, Baked Potato, save my life. I think it's something like that, isn't it? I keep seeing him every day, putting them out. But yeah, I did a scene with Matt's flatmate a few months ago, actually. So he's arranged that for us. So it just shows you guys, seriously, like, and I didn't ask for that. I thought, I'm not going to ask, not going to push for it, but like, you should just be out helping people, meeting people, saying yes to things. Not everything. Your no is powerful, so, don't get involved in everything. Some people want to come and take the piss as well and will want to just get you to, they'll want to leverage stuff that you've built up for their own gain. They won't really want to give you anything in return. So look out for that. But genuinely, if people are good and they're kind and they're nice, help them out. I helped Jamie out with a scene that he wanted to do. He's a top actor as well, so didn't mind. I saw a really, really good actor. I was like, yeah, I'll be in your scene, mate, no problem. And then he just tweeted me, go, mate, do you want Matt to do a webinar with you? I'm like, hell yes. So yeah, it's this whole industry and your entire life is built around, and your success is entirely built around the predicated by the quality of your relationships with other human beings. So I'm learning that so much as I get older, just like all the time, constantly, just give value to as many people as you can without asking for anything in return. And you'll get a lot back. What a lot of people do is they get it all wrong. The first thing that they do for someone is ask them for something, And if you're doing that in your acting career and nothing's happening, maybe change your tactics, because I get a lot of that. I get a load of people emailing me, and they try and pitch stuff, and you'll maybe get this in your career as well, or in your life as well, where they dress something up as if like, oh, I'd like to offer all actors in your community 10% off my headshot deal. It's like, fuck you. You don't want to offer what you're doing there is you're saying, Ross, this community you've spent 11 years of your life and 50,000 hours building, I'd like to come and leverage all that hard work and just sell my headshots to your community, and I'll dress it up like I'm giving you a special offer. It's like, fuck off. You're not doing anything. All you're doing is you're trying to exploit people like love in the community, or you guys, for money. Like, just do one. So don't be like that. just give value, give real value. Don't try and dress something up like you're giving somebody something that you're not. Because I get it all the time. I'm so aware of it now. I never really used to be, because before Acts on This was as established as it was, no one really did stuff like that. But I get it every week, where people are like, oh, hey, why don't you do this? Oh, I've got this offer for you. You've not got any offer for me or for you guys. What you've got is you're just trying to make a quick buck without giving any value up front. So look out for that. There's a lot of people who are just out for themselves. But when you're not, when you open your arms to the world, it opens its arms to you, and amazing things happen. So yeah, appreciate you all being a part of the community, being part of the group. Matt, Andrew's here. Right, Andrew, how you doing, mate? Hope you're good. I'm going to spend the next 2 weeks learning baked potato now, said Andrea. Amazing. Yeah, we'll probably have a little sing along for that. Definitely. But yeah, no, it should be a really good few weeks. So to end, we've got like 5 minutes left. Anybody got any questions? Anything, anything I can help you with? Anything going on? Let us know if I can help you with anything, or got anything, you got anything you want to announce, anything you want to promote, that's not selling anyone anything. If you want anyone to go and watch something for you or anything like that, let me know, and I'll give it a little shout out for you now. Those who are listening on the audio experience, thank you so much for listening. And I don't know if you know, guys. I'm sure you know, because I say it all the time and I mention the audio experience. But yeah, I put the audio of all of these live broadcasts that I do on a Monday. Put the audio out on iTunes and on Spotify, SoundCloud, everywhere you get podcasts from, basically. So you can keep up with what's going on in the community, even when you're not able to join us on a Monday night. So if you are listening on the audio experience, or indeed you're watching the replay on Facebook, or you're watching the replay on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. Saba says, "Pay it forward, good things come back." It does, and it's a patience game, Saba, because you know what? When you are giving and you're not asking for anything, it feels like, oh God, when how long do I have to do this for? It's so tempting to just go straight in for the ask, but hard work and patience, man, when you couple those two things together, you just become really dangerous in a good way. And you've just got to keep that in the forefront of your mind all the time, and Seth's broadcast we did last week said it all for me. On multiple occasions, we spoke about how important it is to play the long game in your acting career, but also just in your life as well. And a lot of people don't want to do that. There's so many people. I'm part of like a lot of groups for business as well. Obviously, Acts on This is an online business, so I'm part of a lot of groups and mentoring programs, for sort of learning about business and how that operates and marketing and stuff. And I see a lot of people who, rather than put like all of their energy into one thing over, and it might be like I'm talking before Acts on This became actually what I realized was a business. I'm talking 8 years down the line, right? For the first 8 years, it didn't make any money or anything. This was just like, I just enjoyed it. It's like, I just love sitting down with people and talking. And there was only, 150 people or so for the first 8 years involved with the whole community. But I just enjoyed it. And I was like, no, I'm just going to stick at this. A lot of people don't want to put that 8 years in. They want to put 8 minutes in. And when they're not making loads of money, they're like, right, what's the next thing? Right, okay, I'll just get into cryptocurrency, or I'll just start selling this or sell that, or I'll do some Amazon stuff or whatever it is. And they never want to put any time into one thing. They're just looking for instant gratification and a quick fix. It's like going, I want to lose weight, so I'd rather take a pill or some diet pills rather than actually just alter my diet and exercise for the next 6 months, and you'll get, a far better, more sustainable result. But people go, no, I'll just take whatever it is and it'll fat burn or whatever. It's bollocks. There's nothing in your life you'll ever achieve that's of any longevity or anything that's worthwhile if you're not prepared to just play the long game. So go and listen to the broadcast with Seth if you haven't already. We talk about that quite a bit. But yeah, patience is absolutely freaking critical in everything. Definitely. Gary says he's found an original treatment for one of his feature scripts dated 2008. That's a long game, Gary. 12 years there, mate. Definitely. Andrew says play the long game. Do tattoos, is an interesting question off Chris. Have a negative impact on getting cast? Also, this is the first live video I've tuned into. Definitely a huge load of worthwhile information. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you being here, mate. Yeah, so tattoos, it's not you know what, mate? It's not a massive deal unless they're on your face or your neck and they can't be hidden. Some people have them really, really visible. And even then, it's not a massive deal if you don't try and hide it, like wear a scarf for your casting or some bollocks like that. And then you book a job and then you turn up on set and you're like, surprise, and no one knew about them. It would be something they will take into consideration because they would have to plan in advance for. If it's for stuff like commercials, not a problem. And a lot of the time these days, because it's very fashionable and modern, in a lot of contemporary stuff, people like it, and they're more than happy for you to have your tattoos in shows and that sort of stuff. It's actually an advantage for you in some cases. Where it becomes a bit of a hindrance is period drama. So stuff like Downton Abbey. We're going to be talking to Jill Trevellick the Tuesday after next, all about casting Downton. If they're on your body and they can be covered by clothing, not a problem. If they were much more visible, like, if you had a short sleeve shirt on, or, you didn't have anything on your upper half, if you could see them, you need to make sure they're either on your spotlight profile, so casting directors can read about them, where they are. Your agent should be you need to tell your agent should be telling casting directors, particularly for period drama, if you have tattoos. Again, that you don't want them to be a surprise. And even then, though, for period drama, if you're good enough and you are the guy that they're like, no, we have to have this guy in our show, they'll use camouflage makeup, mate. It will mean you have to get into makeup earlier than everybody else. But they'll do it. Ultimately, if you're good enough when you're a shit actor and they want you in something, as long as, they can cover them up, they will do. So not a massive deal, mate, as long as you lead with honesty. Don't try and hide it from anybody, because you'll piss people off big time. If, say, you go, right, okay, we've got this new advert we're going to cast, and you go to the audition, you get it, and then on the advert itself, maybe you're lay in bed with your girlfriend advertising something, and you haven't told them that your chest is full of Manchester United tattoos or something. They're like, no, we can't have that on the advert. Not that there's anything wrong with Manchester United. I like Manchester United, but just as an example, you don't know if what you've got on your body is going to align with someone's brand. So it's not necessarily even the fact that you've got tattoos that's a problem, it's what they might be of. So lead with honesty, mate, and you should be absolutely fine. I've never got tattoos for myself. I don't mean I've never got them, like I don't understand them. I mean, I've just never got one. I wouldn't know what to have, and I don't know if I'd suit one, but it's always one of those things that was dead tempting when you were younger, like, right, all my mates were getting them when tribal stuff was in. And I'm like, I just have no idea what to get. But I always find it really interesting talking to people about their tattoos and what they've got and why they got it. Sometimes it's because they got drunk in a booth and they just decided to have something tattooed on their hand. Other times, a load of thoughts got into it and there's a really deep story behind it. So, I'm always fascinated to hear about them. And it's something for you to talk about in castings as well, if, they're particularly looking for tattoos. There was a guy in Brassic, guy called... Rick Carr. Couldn't remember his bloody name. Rick Carr, great, good mate of mine. Forgot your name, Rick. Who played a guy called Joe Blaine Jr. in Brassic. He was like a fighter, like a gypsy fighter. Incredible actor, great guy, and he's full of tattoos, and that really played to his advantage in the casting. They wanted somebody like that. However, for the stunt double, what they had to do, because they didn't know if Rick would be able to do all the stunts. He did in the end, so it was all right, but they had to get a double on standby just in case. And what they had to do, they had to stencil all of his tattoos with tracing paper off Rick and then put them on the stunt double as well. So they were identical on this guy. Meticulous work went into it. It's fascinating when you realise how much work goes into it. But those tattoos helped Rick get that role. So, don't think of them as a negative, mate. You don't have to hide them. Just be upfront with people. Right. What's going on? It looks like we're out of comments and we're out of time. But I hope everyone's well and has enjoyed this. I'm really, really looking forward to the webinars that are coming up next week. Who's joining me tomorrow night then with Kate? If you're looking for an agent, please come and get involved with the webinar tomorrow night. I'll play the trailer again to finish tonight, but let me know. And if I know who is looking for an agent in the community, if you are going to be joining us, if I think you'd be a good fit for Kate, I'll push you a little bit. I can be a bit cheeky, can't I? That's what I like. I can sometimes, what I like about hosting is I can bring people I know well on camera. If I know you well in the community, you've been around a while, I can bring people on and ask questions you probably wouldn't get away with asking yourself. I've got people auditions like that before in general meetings with casting directors by just putting them on the spot a little bit. So let me know. Alicia says she definitely is. Amazing. Well, maybe, you know what, if you want to chat with Kate, Alicia, we'll figure that out tonight as well, because I think we've been through most people as well. I always do it so if someone's not been on a broadcast before, I always give priority to people who haven't been on camera before with a guest at all. But I think we're probably through most guests now. Most like people who have attended have spoken to at least one guest, so we can probably start bringing people back on who have been on camera before. But please, all I ask from everybody, one thing I really, really do want to ask you moving forward as well is just be super supportive of everybody. I know, like I say, not everyone's going to get a chance to jump on camera on every webinar, but you will get a chance to jump on camera on our webinar at some point. Please just keep the focus. If you're not in the chat, we have a text chat as well. Keep the focus going. Please support the person who is on camera, because everybody's question is important to them. And remember, you were on camera for the first time at some point as well. And you might have asked a couple of questions when you're on camera, and I'm really I'm as lenient as I can possibly be with time with people, and I want people to get as much value as possible. But please, let's just keep everything focused and support everyone as much as possible. Because also, one thing as well, I don't know if you guys know this, but every guest gets a copy of the replay, and with that, they get a copy of the text chat as well. Dan Hubbard was the first person who requested it, who actually said, I want that. So just remember, whatever you're writing there, the guest gets as well. No one's wrote anything dodgy though, it's fine. But just moving forward, I thought I should tell you that as well. But yeah, we're going to try and get through as many as people as possible, and we will get more people on tomorrow night who have been on before, because we're through everybody now. So it's all good. Well, thank you so much for being here. Everyone's always so helpful. Says Saba, it was great to be on with Jason and ask questions. Says Gary. Honestly, it's really good, isn't it? That's what I love about the community. Everyone's just dead supportive and nice, though. Definitely. Janice is here. I'd love to be there tomorrow night. Janice, get yourself down, without a doubt. Alicia says everyone misses her face. Alicia does some great selfies after every broadcast. I always look forward to the selfie, Alicia. And Alicia also figured out how to send her Zoom meeting to a TV as well. So your recent selfies have been like watching the Zoom meeting in like 50-inch TV or whatever. So yeah, I look forward to whatever selfie you're going to post tomorrow night. Right, folks, I'll love you and leave you. But yeah, this is Kate Northern, tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. For those watching on the replay, maybe you've missed this, but you will find the replay of the webinar we're going to do with Kate in the members area at actonthis.tv. So if you've not got membership yet, get yourself over there, and you can join in every single webinar that I've shown you and shared with you tonight. Lee Petcher, as it says, better start behaving, Lee Petcher. Yeah, Petcher's supposed to be like my moderator. He's supposed to be the guy who keeps it all on focus. But every time I look at the chat, Petcher's bloody tearing it up and being more of a tearaway than everybody else. So yeah, I'll tell him, I'll warn him. I don't know if he's on here tonight. Right, folks, this is Kate Northern. I'll see you for a chat with her tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. If you want to get a membership and join this, actonthis.tv/live for the full schedule, and shout out to everyone on the replay as well. All right, take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Actors, it's Ross. I'm back again with another invite for you lot to another incredible actonthis.tv live webinar taking place on Tuesday, the 19th of May at 7:30 p.m. with this amazing woman here with the best hair in the industry, Kate Northern, who I actually trained with at drama school. I'm so excited about this, Kate. I've seen you over the years, obviously, as an actress. Now you've transitioned into agency, and you are now the owner and CEO of what was Northwest Actors, is now rebranded as Kate Northern, an incredible dynamic acting agency that no doubt is going to blow up. What do you want to talk about on Tuesday night?
Well, let's talk about how I've come from actress to agent, and any difficulties I've faced, and all the progress I'm making, how I'm building on Nigel Adams' success as Northwest Actors, why I've rebranded, and how I want to catapult the agency now into the future with the fantastic talent I've got and new talent that I want to take on.
Absolutely, and we'll be talking to a lot of new talent, because you guys are going to get the opportunity to jump on camera, put your acting career questions to Kate, have a little bit of one-to-one coaching, talk to her about anything to do with agency, your acting career, auditions, how she works with her actors. And like you say, Kate, the books are never closed yet. You might discover some incredible talent.
Fantastic, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Absolutely. If you want to join this, get yourself over to actonthis.tv/live right now to find out how you can take part, and also take part in future webinars. I've got loads of these coming up. And Kate, just a few seconds on, put a bit of pressure on you on why actors don't want to miss it.
Well, I'm hoping that people will help me battle through the bullshit of the industry and see where we are right now in lockdown, and see if we can all move forward together. And ask me anything you want about my life, my career, your own difficulties, anything at all.
She's an open book.
I'm an open book. No bullshit.
actonthis.tv/live.